This right here is some gameplay of a Left 4 Dead 2 remaster I'm currently working on. And I mean working on as in like, it's near completion, sort of. It's hard to explain. I'm playing this in real time, by the way, so if I get a little distracted, you'll know why. Right off the bat, you probably won't notice too many things different, other than the skins, of course. These aren't part of the remaster, these are just for fun. But, over time, you might sort of notice a few new things, such as the animations. They've been redone, not by me, not by me. You may notice the game looks slightly, brighter, I guess, more clear, more vivid, just a little more. And you do have better particle and blood effects, at least I think you do. Left 4 Dead 2, in terms of graphical enhancements, isn't the most moddable. It is not, there's only a certain amount of things you can do, and there's plenty of stuff you can't. It's really too bad, because the game still looks decent today, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who have really, really, wanted to, enhance the game to make it look more next-gen. Left 4 Dead 2 doesn't really... Sorry about that. As I was saying, though, Left 4 Dead 2, in terms of graphically modding the game to make it look more nice, and again, more next-gen, it doesn't offer the most tools to do that, and in terms of using reshade to do it, the effects that are used on it, that are normally used to enhance games like Call of Duty, they aren't as prominent on Left 4 Dead 2, I've noticed. They look much better on Call of Duty than Left 4 Dead, albeit I didn't use my Call of Duty preset on that. That's something I will try later in this video, but the preset I'm using for Left 4 Dead 2 is not really, it doesn't do the most for Left 4 Dead 2. It doesn't do as much as I want it to, which is really too bad, because again, I would really love to enhance this game and give that next-gen lighting look that I gave to Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops, albeit it wasn't throughout the whole game. There's some parts that looked a little but the effect in that arguably was much better than what we have here. Albeit the game looks nicer, but it could look a lot better, I feel. So let's go through some of the mods. Again, as you may notice, things like the pills have been redone. Things like health kits are now in high definition, as you can see, with much more detail. Again, the skins for the players aren't, they're just a separate add-on. I wouldn't really consider them part of this remaster, I just have them for fun. One of the big differences you'll notice is the redone animations. If you're Left 4 Dead 2 purist, if you haven't played Left 4 Dead 2 in like 5 years or so, you might not notice the difference. They're not really the most prominent. These are cool, actually, the way these animations are done is that, they're done in a way to where they're not overdone, and they still look subtle enough, but they also look much better. Yeah, look much better while still being that same sort of having the same sort of subtlety that the originals had. And that's why, again, if you haven't seen Left 4 Dead 2 in a very long time, you probably won't notice that big of a difference. So that's one of the things. There's a bunch of little HD mods here and there. Let's go look at the doors, for instance. I think movable doors have been redone in HD. The flashlight is in HD, whatever the hell that means. Muzzle flash has now been given a bit of a rework, at least for some guns it has. There's a few things you need to go through here. It's one of those remasters that really only shows difference if you're actively looking for it. Again, you won't really see difference right off the bat, as like you would in my Black Ops video and my Modern Warfare video. So that is something to keep in mind here, but still, the effects it gives are still really nice, and if you want to play the game again, you should consider them. Again, the particle effects have been redone for the blood, at least I think they have. I've noticed it looked a bit different, it looked a bit better, so I do believe, because I installed a particle mod, so I do think it does enhance the game a bit. Special Infected also are in HD, sort of. They have more, I keep thinking controls crouch. They have more cracked skin and whatnot, and the skin's in more high definition, or just more sharper than it originally was. This doesn't work for all the infected, though. There is some conflicting add-on issues with that, so I will get to that in a few minutes. But again, there's a bunch of little things that have been redone in HD here and there. Unfortunately, things like the ground textures, they couldn't have been redone. I really wish they could have, but there's no, as far as I know, at least not at the moment, there's no mod that makes all the textures HD. There's only ones for a few. Kind of similar to how Black Ops Modern Warfare 3, graphically, unless using reshade, as far as I know, they're not moddable. Due to the technology they use, you cannot install HD mods, which is why I couldn't find an HD texture mod originally for the game, and I really wanted to find one because just enhanced that game just a little more. You know, it almost looked like an Xbox One game. The lighting was much more improved, and albeit it could use a little bit more fixing here and there, but for the most part the lighting was improved. The only thing that was really missing is the textures and the ability to run the game in 4K. That was it. And if I had the tools to do so, I would have done those instantly. But here the effect again is less so than it was in Black Ops, which is really too bad because and there are people who'd love to see this game in some sort of HD form. The clothes around here have all been redone, albeit they do look a little out of place, but I for one don't mind. You may notice that with the reset I'm using, things do look brighter than they should, and it is something I am aware of. There isn't too much I could do about that while still retaining the HDR effect. So yeah, I'm going to go through the whole mods right now, or all the mods right now. One thing you'll know, to start actually, we'll start with the reshade. So let's get outside for a minute. Let's stop playing and see if I can get outside. If not, I'll just go through. Okay, yeah, I have to go through the front. At least I think I do. So yeah, let's kill him. Left 4 Dead 2 is great fun today still, and even without graphics mods, it still is a good game. Oh, and also the MGs have been redone. I have not seen a 50 cal in this game in a long time. I normally when replaying the game, I really wouldn't do the levels normally with 50 cals in them. So I keep thinking it's control. Jesus, I normally wouldn't do levels with 50 cals in them. So yeah, I think it has been improved. It does look better than I remember it looking. I remember the original looking not like that. So that's nice. Let's start with the reshade. So to start, we have Neo Bloom, Lift Gamma Gain, which I actually don't even know what that does. Really, I don't even know why it's on. I'll keep it on just in case. Luma Sharpen, just to sharpen things up a bit, and Fake HDR, as you can see there. Vibrance, and I think I have FXAA on somewhere. I probably missed it, but yeah, FXAA. So again, these don't really give the whole thing an overhaul. I've used effects like these before in my videos, but this is sort of a little different. HDR, of course, adds a fake HDR effect. It does make the game look more clear. However, it's not as prominent as... Oh, I didn't even know it does that on the bottom right. The fact, again, just isn't as prominent as it was in Black Ops, which really is too bad, because, again, I feel like in some ways this game could use a very nice visual upgrade. I've tried the other HDRs, and they really don't work as well as this one, and even then, this one working well is like an asterisk next to it. I feel like it could do a lot better if it was just given some more configuration, but unfortunately, we can only have a very broad version of this. It can't go in depth, it can't give things more depth like it could in Black Ops. Let's see, so now we have Vibrance, and the difference with Vibrance is very slight. It's very slight, but it is apparent enough to be a good thing. A lot of people, when the people add Vibrance to games, they usually are against it because it'll add something like Technicolor 2. Let me just show you what that does really quick. Technicolor 2, as you can see, it makes the game really, really vibrant. It essentially adds more color on top of the colors that are already there. Vibrance doesn't do that, it just enhances what's there, it doesn't add more to it. So you still get that sort of same tone that Left 4 Dead 2 was going for, and Left 4 Dead 1 as well. This works Left 4 Dead 1, of course. But you still get that same tone that Left 4 Dead 2 was going for, with more enhanced colors. They're just enhanced enough. You can increase, again, you can, if you're using this preset, you can change all of this stuff if you'd like, but for now this is what I have it on. So, yeah, Vibrance, it doesn't do too much, it just enhances the colors that are already there, so it'll pop out just a bit more, just enough to stand out. Then, of course, we have Luma Sharpen, which sharpens everything, makes things at the distance a little more clear, and helps with the FXAA, because if you have a lot of anti-aliasing in the game, it's going to start to look a little blurry. Next, we have Neo Bloom. Some of you might be against Bloom, I understand that, but I think the reason why is because developers oftentimes, when they use Bloom, they overdo it. Oh, boxes have been redone as well, of all things. Boxes are now in HD, so I guess you could read them now if you want. But developers, a lot of times when they use Bloom, they overdo it and they make it look too bright. I think if developers were more subtle with an effect like Bloom, they could really make it look good and make the game look a lot better with Bloom, but a lot of times just overuse is really too bad because it is I feel a very underrated effect. Let's just kill that guy there. I am a great shot, as you can see. I was being sarcastic earlier. Yeah, so let's just kill a few of these guys. So what else is left? So yeah, you have Neo Bloom, just to give those few spots a bit more bloom. Again, it's very subtle. And then, of course, you have FXA, which is more anti-aliasing. So that's the simple part of the reshade. I've used reshade on Left 4 Dead 2 before, but just enhanced it slightly. Didn't want to make an actual remaster of it, but this is all for the purposes of remastering the game. Again, all this works with Left 4 Dead 1 as well, and it pretty much has the same pros and cons. You have some things that look slightly better, or better enough, but you get some things that don't look that much better, or don't look quite nice at all. So let's take a look at the mods I have installed now. So if you look at my mod menu, I have a bunch of mods installed. but I'm only gonna walk through the ones that are really important. Originally, how this all started was actually NoClick. It's a Valve associated channel, not really associated, but a channel that covers a lot of Valve stuff. He did a video showing Left 4 Dead 2 guns that some have been reanimated and some, or what is it? He'd shown a Left 4 Dead 2 mod with some guns reanimated, or no, showed a weapon reanimation mod that reanimated all the guns. Right, and actually in the video, I thought it was all one mod, so I downloaded the whole thing, but no, it's a bunch of different mods I sort of compiled together. So I ended up downloading all the mods as opposed to a bunch of, or along with a bunch of other HD stuff. So I'm going to walk you through what I have. Now, if you go to View and Workshop and you just search up, so I decided to actually switch to the browser for this. I'm just going to go through, I searched up Left 4 Dead 2 HD textures, and just going to, I chose these two sets of files here, these two sets of mods. So I'm gonna go through the first one. I think that is the HD textures and realism collection, and then the second one will just be HD textures. So out of this one, I've installed a decent amount of mods for both of these. Basically, what we have here is just a bunch of HD-ish mods, and I've only installed a select few of them. I've done improved classic body piles, full res pitchfork and shovel, HD clothes, and all these I've installed are turned on, but unless they're conflicting with each other. I will get to that in a minute. All these guys are turned on except for the hunter, and the reason is that for some reason I think either the hunter model conflicted with the rest of the mods, or I was only allowed to have I couldn't have. There's one mod I had to take off for some other reason. I don't know why, but yeah. So in terms of these, which are great, they add more detailed and varied skin types for the Left 4 Dead 2 Special Infected, while also retaining their original look. They are good, but keep in mind you do have to disable one of them. I think that one is the hunter, if I remember correctly. I don't know if I did that by choice or if I was forced to, but yeah. In terms, I would install all of these if you can. He did do some work on the Boomer, apparently, that never really installed, so I guess I'll install that as well then. I'll just get that. I did F-18 without fog, so you can actually see the jets, and high-res human skin for common infected. Okay, so I guess I did have. Quick disclaimer, I just found this out. I think the HD models are actually fucking up with the game's. God dang, I always press that. I think the HD models are actually fucking up with the game's particles and whatnot, and with the clothing because. Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, it's fucking with the game's particles and whatnot because I have a bunch of guys who look like that. So do not turn on the HD textures for the infect because it is completely messing everything up. Unless something else to it, but I believe that's it. If I find out what actually is causing this, then I'll make a separate clip about it. If not, then that just means that, yeah, it was the HD textures that are fucking up these the HD Special Infected. The HD Special Infected. Do not turn that on, yeah. Because I believe that's what's going on over here. That I don't remember seeing that in my add-ons list, though. I'll have to look for that. HD or I. So I'll have to look for some of these because I don't remember seeing all of them, but that just give you an idea of what I have installed. And let's go to the second mod pack here. Left 4 Dead 2 Remastered HD Textures. I only have some of these on. The HD interface, HD explosion decal. Do I have anything up here? No, I actually might get HD pot plants because there's quite a lot of them. And HD medical cabinet, HD snack machine, HD Dark Carnival retextures. Personally does the props though. I don't think it actually does the actual textures themselves. HD machine guns and HUD display. And HD dumpsters, believe it or not. HD ladders as well. And sorry to yawn there. HD crates. HD clothes, and HD bus, HD blood map to rework some of the blood, albeit though I think that's turned off. I'm gonna go through Left 4 Dead 2 again and show you what I have turned on and off. HD ATM, V22 Osprey, and I think that's, oh no, there's more simple, no, Legacy Part, okay, yeah, that I have installed. That I installed a long time ago, but Legacy Particle support muzzle effects. I did notice though the blood is much better. Maybe that's from some other mod, maybe not that. Defibrillator, that's part of actually NoClick's whole thing. So, yeah. I think that's all the mods I have here. I actually might go through this one more time. I should just go through all of these just to make sure you have all the proper HD mods installed that you want. And actually, we'll get this as well. But, I'm just gonna get a few more mods here, just because. What else do I want? 7 HD pod plants. Okay, so there is one more mod pack that I actually do want to go through before we go back into Left 4 Dead 2. Okay, so just went to NoClick's video. I will have a link to that video in the description below, as well as the other mod packs, so if you do want to see that, you can. Basically, he has all these mods here installed, and yes, there are a lot of, if you install all of these, you will have duplicates of some weapons, so you have to sort through them, so make sure you only download one for each weapon, because again, you won't be able to use them both. So, yeah, I have the Desert Rifle. I'm gonna go through all these, which ones are turned on and off. Desert Rifle, KF2 Scar, the AK, the M16, the Uzi, the Auto Shotgun. I think it's like an M4 or Benelli or something like that. I don't know. It's some shotgun that I know the name of. I just can't remember off the top of my head. The Chrome Shotgun. There's the Eagle. I have a lot of these. I'm not gonna go through them all right now. There's some of these I don't have on. The default G3. I actually do have I have another animation for the G3, so that's off, as well as the hunting rifle as well. But yeah, back to dead stuff. I do have some of that on. This I think is the current rifle I'm using. I have the crowbar animated, which I actually just turned on because I just saw how it looked and really liked it. So that's pretty nice. Spas 12. There actually is 2 Spas 12 animations. So one's like a more updated version, and one's like the original. They both are reanimated though. So yeah, if you do install all these right off the bat, you have to remember you do have to actually sort through them. I didn't realize that, and well, I sort of did, but by then it was too late. I already had them installed, so I just thought, okay, I'll just install them all and get them to work. Yeah, some of these NoClick is using in this video, some of these he isn't, so it is something to note. But let's get into Left 4 Dead 2 now. I forgot to mention Left 4 Dead 2 add-ons are currently kind of bugged out, so if you install new add-ons, you have all this other crap you got to sort through. It turns on a bunch of more add-ons, which is really stupid. So it's gonna be a while before I sort through all of this. So I'm back. I got my mods sorted out, and I'm just gonna walk through which ones have on and off. And sorry, I muted myself because I sneezed there. I got some allergies, something going on. So to start, we have HD pod plants, distinct ammo upgrades. I don't even remember seeing this, but okay. Oh no, that I just downloaded. Let's start with the guns, actually. So, at the back to Left 4 Dead 2 auto shotgun on, the crowbar reanimated by Dr. Huss. The reason why I'm saying the name is due to the fact that, again, there's a lot of duplicates of these. Not really duplicates, but there's a lot of reanimations done by different people of the same gun, so it is important to know who's made what. Hunting rifle, I have a lot of these ones by Paces. It's Paces, or I'll just call it Paces for now. I think it's Paces. If I'm saying it wrong, correct me, but, I have all these done by Paces, turned on. The machete one, the Spas, items reanimation, that's someone else. Defibrillator by Salad, default G3 by Inter, the first person pistol by Paces, as well as the dual pistols, they're reanimated as well. Pump shotgun by Paces, dual pistols by Paces. Okay, yeah, there you go. You have to turn both of those on. Chrome shotgun by Paces, Uzi by Paces, Mag 10 by Paces, katana reanimated by Paces, fire axe by Paces, nightstick, frying pan. Desert Rifle or the Scar by Lieutenant Rocky. I don't think Paces made one of these. The Parish Facelift, it just fixes the lighting in the cemetery and whatnot. I do have to look again at those. I actually haven't played the Parish in recent memory, so I do have to retest that section of the game, as well as with my reshade preset. Left 4 Dead 2 CS:GO Hybrid. Oh, this is for the this is a reanimation for the SG-55-2. One of the the guns added from Counter-Strike Source. The M16A2 by Zero. HD doors. HD doors, which essentially affects most of the doors that move and can be destroyed. HD interface, which is really nice. HD clothes that you see on the ground. HD dumpsters. HD ladders. Some of these are very subtle. I know that. Some of these are very subtle. HD crates. HD bus. HD vomit. ATM. Blood map. Medkit, Francis. Here's the thing. So originally there was a pack of 4 HD Left 4 Dead 1 characters you can install, but you can only have one on at a time for some reason. So you can't have a full HD team. You can only have one guy HD while the rest are in their standard definition. So just on Francis, just because really, I think he has the most detail with his tattoos and whatnot. So if one were to stand out the most, I feel like it would be Francis. HD signs. I know it's not all the signs are HD, but the majority of them are. A lot of them are much more readable now, and they look proper. They look like proper signs. Boxes HD, which, like you seen earlier. HD flashlight, which apparently is a thing. HD muzzle flashes, which do look a bit better, yeah. HD tank. AK-47 reanimated by H, and Deagle reanimated are both by H. These are only 2 ones by H that I have turned on. I think they're only 2 ones by H. I don't know if you can find more of them, but I have these on as opposed to the Paces ones. The F-15 without fog, so you can see the jet. High-res human skin for common. So I guess, yeah, I guess they are in a high resolution, I believe. HD or eyes, so I guess those are on. I will have to take a second look at those just to be sure, because I don't think the standard infected were too different. But we'll see. Jockey, again, with the whole K-bar thing, I actually had to turn off the tank and the hunter. So the hunter and the tank are both the same, but these 5 right here, I mean, are all in HD, and they do look a lot better. HD pills, HD explosions, full res pitchfork and shovel, improved classic body piles, HD medicine cabinet, snack machine. Oh, I got a bunch of stuff on. These have had for a very long time, actually. These have had... Sorry, I got cut off there. These have had for a very long time, and they just add on to the mod. Legacy particles. So, I've noticed that with these on, I think the blood has also been improved as well as the muzzle flash. It says muzzle effect right there, I know, but I think still, this does, I got notification. I think this does improve the blood effects. Because I've noticed they have looked a little more clear and a little more... just better, something that does improve that. And the rest is just other crap that you really don't have to install. I do have plane crash on any map, just for fun. It doesn't, you don't have to install this, but I just do it anyways. So, yeah, that pretty much walks us through the remaster of Left 4 Dead 2 and all the mods I've turned on. Again, when it comes to weapons, if you download the whole set of no-click files, there's a bunch of these you can install and change and configure at your will. Just make sure you would know which one looks like what. Some of these do look very similar to the, and I mean more similar than they should to the original animations, so I want to stay away from that. I want the animations to be different, but also being very subtle, not overly done and whatnot, but still look better and still look different from what we originally had. I think I did that with these selections of mods. So that sums up the mods. I'm just gonna get to comparison. What I will be comparing is the reshade. I will not be comparing the mods themselves. I don't want to have to turn them all on and turn them all off again. Honestly, for a lot of these mods, I just turn them on and just leave it like that. The game will look more high definition, but because these mods only improve things. The reshade effect might be a little more controversial than the mods. At least with these mods, everything's already improved. Nothing looks questionable. But the reshade, that really depends, I guess, on your personal preference. Anyways, that about sums this part up. Those are all the mods I have. There's quite a few of them. You don't have to turn all of them on, but those are the ones I'm playing with. And let's get to comparison now.
There's a spitter around. Back bitches is around. Reloading.
So in the end, what can I conclude? This isn't a bad way to replay Left 4 Dead 2. It adds a bit more life to the game and adds a bit, just a bit more playability to the game. As you can see, we have HD Francis there, and it looks a lot better. I wish I could do this for all the Left 4 Dead 1 characters, but unfortunately, you can only do one at a time. If there's another set of mods that allow for HD characters, I'll check that out, because I really would like to play with everyone in HD. I'd like to play with the whole game in HD, but you can't really do that, unfortunately. When I said this mod isn't really complete, it's just that I'm going to be changing a lot of mods in and out over time. This is mostly a video on how to get started on all that. You can use my preset if you want, just play with that, but over time I do plan on adding more mods and better mods as time goes on. So it's not quite complete yet, but it still is how I'd like to play the game in a remastered version. Again, the animations, some of them are more apparent than others. Some of them, like the Susie one, it looks oddly similar to the original, but still looks different enough. Some of them look just flat out completely different, but they still keep that same subtlety, which is really nice, because last thing you want is a really over-the-top and drastic reload animation that doesn't fit the game at all, and isn't realistic. But these mods don't do that, and all of them really do a good job of preserving the original look of the game, while still breathing some more life into it. You know, it is Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 are both classic zombie games, and I think honestly, they will stand the test of time. Even though we are getting games like Back 4 Blood, which are more modern renditions, I think at the end of the day, people still will want to come back to this game because it is a very addicting game, and again, like I said, stands the test of time. Albeit, though, just could use a little more life into it every now and then. And thankfully, we have the modding community for that. In terms of reshade and whatnot, yeah, I wish the effects were more prominent and more usable. I will be trying my Call of Duty preset just as a bonus, but that's gonna be off camera, just to see. But yeah, in terms of making a Left 4 Dead remake, I think this is about as good as it gets, or a remaster. Yeah, I think this is about as good as it gets, as opposed to the developers or Valve themselves making an actual remake of the game. We got to work with what we got, and unfortunately, the tools are rather limited. They offer more depth than reshade, but reshade itself doesn't have the best effects on this game. I mean, it's not that it just makes the game look worse. It's just that I feel it's more of a life is good, but could be better situation. Again, like with Call of Duty, reshade really made the lighting look next gen. Here, it still looks old last gen, but more improved, if you understand what I mean. And I think it's just the way the Left 4 Dead works. Throughout my experience of reshading Valve games, I've never used RTGI, so I don't know if it's different if you use that, but as far as I can remember, Valve games do not have the best sort of experience with reshade. A lot of effects you can normally use in other games aren't as usable in Valve games. One of the ones I really want to add was MXAO. I can't add that to this game. It seems like games from this era you can't really use MXAO on them, which is really weird. If for those who don't know what it does, MXAO adds a bunch of smaller shadows to the game to give everything much more depth, and I love using it, especially on older games, just to give it, again, that more depth. It's one of those things that ray tracing actually uses. It's again more prominent in older games than it is with newer ones. A lot of newer ones already have MXAO, like Modern Warfare Remastered, which I've talked about a bit on this channel in my benchmarks and whatnot. It has a lot of MXAO. So yeah, older games though, like Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, and SWAT 4 look great with MXAO turned on. And I'm losing health. I'm dying over here. Yeah, they look great with MXAO turned on. And I suggest use them when you can older games, unless your game already has a lot of it. But, oh, Jesus Christ. My next reshade video is going to cover some older World War II games, Medal of Honor, the aforementioned Medal of Honor with reshade and Call of Duty and whatnot. Those older World War II games from, like, the 2000s era, early to mid to late 2000s, I mean. But I'm about to die. I'm running low on health. I'm just going to throw this over there. I completely missed. But, yeah, I'm not the best at Left 4 Dead. At least Left 4 Dead advanced difficulty and better at normal. But, yeah. Back to what I was saying about this game earlier. It will stand the test of time. And, albeit, though, just could use some more life breathed into it. That's what the whole purpose of this video was. To get you started in that. Over time, though, I do suggest you sort of, not really mod the game yourself, but experiment with different mods more. As thank you, Lewis. Experiment with different mods more. As time goes on, we'll have more better mods and more realistic ones. And we may even have a full HD revision of Left 4 Dead 2 as a mod. Or Left 4 Dead 2 actual remaster might come out. But for now, this is what we got to work with, so let's take what we got and make the best of it.